So we have tonight the defending league champions, Global FC, their new coach, Brian Reed, and of course one of our returning guest slash hosts who's always wanted to come back for that purpose, Misa Badoran. So tell us more about Global now in the league. We know that you just came off your first match against PSG. It was a positive result, of course, 2-0. With your new players scoring. So perhaps, Coach, you could tell us more about this.
Yeah, obviously it was good to start the league campaign with a win. You know, it was a difficult game for us considering we had a number of players missing. Ascal's been away and quite a few injuries, so the players came in and did a very good job, and some of the younger ones making their debut. And I say it was a good positive result for us.
How else are you guys preparing? Of course, you have a league championship to protect and to win again, hopefully. Which other teams are you looking out for?
Well, as I mentioned before, obviously every game will be difficult because now you've got that aura of being the league champions. It makes you a target for every team to raise their game against you. You know, so every game will have to be prepared to match the work rate and perform to a high level, because it's always more difficult the second time round, you know, to defend the championship. But we're confident we've got a decent squad, and as I say, it'll be another hard round for us. But we're sure we can make a good challenge again.
Yeah, and your new player squad as well. Then you're Chicharito, Ben Starosta. Are you thinking like the squads? How strong do you think they are compared to the other teams, Coach?
Well, I think every team's strengthened with all accounts, you know, and they're working hard because they know they've got the challenge is there for us, you know, and it's a competitive league. We've obviously added to it, and we're still looking obviously to see the situation with the players, still bedding them in. I'm still getting to know the players a wee bit. I mean, I've only been in the country for a month, so it's still quite early stages, but the players have responded well, and they've trained hard, and as I say, the philosophy we're trying to implement is hopefully coming through.
And what can you say about the level of the league so far? You've only been here a month, as you say, but how strong do you think the competition is?
Well, I think it was tight last year. I think Global won it in goal difference, so I mean it's not going to be any easy task again to defend it. So I think every team's added to the squad, and they want to be competitive. So as I say, we need to make sure we match them in terms of that. And as I say, our ambition is to have another good season, to win the championship. As I say, give it our best shot in that, and then we've also got the President's Cup to look forward to as well, which is a big thing for the country and for Global, and it's something we're looking forward to.
The Philippines often has some very unique challenges for people coming from abroad, and in this case you can say that the league had some very unique players. In the game against PSG, Reza Ete was outrageous. I think it doesn't quite sum it up really, to be honest, how ridiculous that was. From a coach's perspective, how weird is it looking at something like that? The real bizarre antics. I mean, at one point he saw, I think it was Izzo on the floor, gets the ball, trips over him, and then fakes injury. It's bizarre. How odd is it to come from Scotland, where obviously it's far more professionalised in the first division there compared to here?
Yeah, it certainly was an eye opener for me, you know. So I mean, I was so disappointed because people are talking about there's characters in the game, etc., etc. But to me, that wasn't a character. That was just, I mean, clowns are meant to be in a circus, you know. So I thought that was disrespectful, cheating, unprofessional, and bringing the game into disrepute. So for anybody to praise that type of action is absurd, to be honest with you, you know. And I see one of the reporters who'd said it's great to have characters in the game. We're all looking for characters, but being professional in the right way, and you can have characters. But I was disappointed because any one of my players acting in that manner, I wouldn't have let it happen. So, and their coach is standing watching that and doing nothing to discourage it. So I was certainly disappointed with it. I mean, trying to get players booked, trying to get players sent off, feigning injury, it's certainly not good for the game, and it's certainly not professional.
And there was talk of you actually getting suspended for one game for the no fair play thing. Did you shouted out no fair play, right? Because of he's obviously faking injury. It's got to a certain point. What exactly happened with that?
Well, I mean, I was trying to speak to the referee. I mean, what he was doing was cheating. You know, it was blatant cheating. You know, and that's got to get. you don't encourage cheating in any sport in any world, in any country in any world. So as I say, I just felt something should have been done to stamp that out during the game, because it was actually ruining the game. And if anything, it wasn't helping his own teammates either. You know, with this antics that was going on. So. But as I say, at the end of the day, we answered it by getting the result, and I'm glad we did, because that's the way you've got to react to it, and it was a good result for us in the end. But I think the authorities have got to look at that and stamp it out, because it can't continue.
Has that been confirmed then, that suspension, or is that wisely been
well, I think
dropped?
it was more a warning. I think than it wasn't. There's no suspension incurred, so it was more a warning. But I mean, I understand myself. I get maybe a bit agitated and irritated, which I shouldn't maybe have done, because. But when you're standing watching that blatant cheating, then I think somebody had to say something. But maybe I did it in the wrong manner, and I'll learn from that lesson not to get too involved again. But as I say, the authorities can see that. It's on live on TV. You see the stramash it's caused throughout the country, and most of it's negative towards what he done. You know, so any people with right mind can see what happened. So.
And Misa, from a player's perspective, how strong is it?
Finally, it's a
easy English. No, English is
away from Razor. Okay, so Tagalog na. Para sa'yo, para sa mga players dun sa for Global, from a player's perspective, how are you looking at this new league campaign? What's different from last year? Aside from the coach, obviously.
Of course. Because I was thinking speak Tagalog, but
okay.
English
I see.
No, but the thing.
Okay lang kung gusto mo gamit Tagalog,
kasi medyo mahirap ng English Tagalog ko. So because for me now global in the Tagalog. And now because this year all the teams are like training hard. I see like not unlike like last year. Like every teams are training every day. They have a full schedule, like not available pitches. So it means that all the teams are doing strong performance, and the other teams, like you will see they're losing 1-0, and then you never know which team will win. Like Ceres become champions of PFF.
So what's the similarities from last year's campaign?
Everything is there. It's just that everything is getting better and better. Philippine football is getting better, especially like our manager, Mr. Dan Palami, is bringing in some good coaches. Coach, you put me first. Coach, you put me first. Good coaches, of course, professional coaches who, of course, played international games. He plays or professional level, so then he understands what's the need of players when they are injured. They don't push us to get worse, and because being player and after that being coach is different. Just being coach, because so everything is getting better and better, and players are getting happy. Even football is developing, and we get better salaries. Everything is getting better. So I tell that so people understand. They support me. Thank you.
So, well, it's still quite early in the league, of course. Teams are just coming off their first matches, second matches. But for more updates, of course, on the UFL and of course on Global FC, please do follow us at FTW Sports.